Did you see this Jaguar thing?
Yeah, I did. It's a clever move. Let me explain why. Because before this, no one was talking about Jaguar. No one. No one was talking about Jaguar. It was just that brand that was just there. So I think that the issue Jag had, they made cool cars. It was just the reliability. That was Jaguar's biggest problem, reliability.
But when last did you see a cool Jaguar? What was cool? What, that F-Type?
F-Type was probably the coolest one. I just feel that it's a brand that has a lot of heritage.
So it appeals to an older generation.
Exactly.
A more, what they call like, sophisticated type of market. That's what they were appealing to.
I think a Jag was like the Aston Martin you could afford, the way I looked at it.
Okay.
But they still made cool cars. I feel that we do know that now they're moving into full-on electric. Which I think is the biggest mistake. Why I say that? Tesla's done very well in the last couple of years, but we don't know how long that's gonna last. Because I've seen online how Tesla, there was a video actually just the other day where there was a Tesla in a parking lot, then the self-drive feature just switched on its own. There was someone in the car, but they couldn't control the car.
Like
it was bashing and hitting other cars in the parking lot. It just went crazy. So now I think, but I also understand Tesla's popularity also came.
But you know, Tesla's going to be like that in America. So even now, Trump's taken away all the subsidies for electric cars.
Yeah.
So Tesla's just going to dominate.
I think
in America,
what I can give Americans is they are patriotic and they support their own. If Tesla was a German brand or a Chinese brand, they were never going to support it. It's an American brand and they're going to support it, regardless of how ugly the car might be or how there's things that are going wrong with this. They're going to support their own. And I feel that when you look at the sales figures of, for example, the Mercedes EQS and the EQE, their sales are tanking.
Terrible.
They've got electric cars sitting collecting dust. And at my time at Mercedes, before the time, obviously.
So then my question is, how did BMW get it right? Because they obviously they've got that iX4, they've got like the XM, which is a bit hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got, there's that iX, there's the i3, they've now come out with a completely electric X1.
There's the i5 as well.
Yeah, so there's quite a few of them, but they're working. Like, it's not amazing, the sales, but they're getting sold. You see them on the road.
I think the key thing that BMW may have done is that they made electric versions of cars where there's a combustion engine version of that car as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you look at an EQS and an EQE, they look nothing like an S-Class or an E-Class looks. So they went for these egg-shaped, frog-shaped looking cars. I understand they're going for a futuristic design, but it's not something that really draws people to come and say, I'm going to spend my money on this. And personally, the way I see it, they just went too head-on with the whole electric change, and I worry that Jag might have the same issue. So I still believe Jag should have the electric models to see how it'll perform, but still keep your performance cars, maybe one or two of their SUVs. I think they only have one actually. And just, there has to be a balance, and that's what BMW's done. They've had a balance of like, there's the electric version, but like if you don't want the electric version, we've got an ICE version. ICE internal combustion engine. So that's where BMW have got it right. They didn't go and design something that's just completely crazy and out of the box. And I've sat in an EQS, I've driven one for the price tag, man. Like,
not worth it.
It's just not worth it. And that's where the problem is that you sit inside it and you're like, this for this price? And you must understand, someone's going to buy an electric car. They're buying it knowing the inconveniences of making sure it charges overnight at home, driving to work, whatever.
You don't have great ranges, eh? Like most of them are around that 300 to like 600 mark. I haven't seen any that has a very
Very good
substantial range.
Yeah, and I think I'm just thinking from general day-to-day life, like the way people drive cars. To tell someone that needs to have the car parked somewhere for like an hour and a half, or even longer for it to fully charge, it's an inconvenience on time.
But do you not think now what Jaguar have done, it's made them relevant again?
So that's why I had mixed feelings, because no one was talking about Jag before. I think Jag could be trolling us. There's a possibility they could be trolling us. Could be a whole marketing gimmick just to get everyone talking about the brand again. But then meanwhile, what they're actually going to produce and make. Because I mean, you saw the concept car. To me, if you've played GTA before, it looks like a Rolls Royce from GTA. But you know what I mean? But I think the futuristic design, if they're going to stick very close to that, they should learn from the mistake that Mercedes-Benz has made. It's a smart thing to get people talking about your brand again, but it's tough.
They always say there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I get that. But I'm a bit worried that they may have basically pulled the middle finger to that specific customer that can't afford that car.
But you know, you talk about that, I can tell you in the past 2 to 3 years, all the clients we've had here driving Jags, okay, they've all been F-types, but very young people, 20s to 30s, driving F-types.
Look, it's a performance car. On their launch video, it honestly looked like they're selling, I don't know, handbags, or they're starting a luxury brand of theirs or something, you know, for clothing and leather goods. And
maybe they are, you never know.
Maybe they are, who knows. I think they needed to also, I understand the diversity thing, because sometimes you need to break the mindset of this, that's for this type of race, age, gender, whatever, this and that. They're trying to break that thing to show that,
they want to be very inclusive.
Them trying to change the perception that they're not an old man brand car.
Yeah.
Hence why the A-Class the A-Class changed from a half-loaf granny car to like a hatch that it was appealing to younger people. So now younger people had more access to the Mercedes-Benz brand. So I think that's what Jaguar was trying to do. But I think as much as everyone's talking about Jag, they're trending and all that kind of stuff, I feel like it's best we wait to see the final product. But if the car looks good, it looks good, I'll give it props. But in terms of me being a fan, I think they should have kept some of their performance cars. That's the way I look at it.